Okay, I'm going to try and explain this. I've done it before, but I'm going to try and explain it a little clearer. So here's God and here's man, and we exist in this. I can make this a circle or a square, whatever. I'm not using the cube as what it, as the way that we see it, but I got to draw some geometrical shape to put us all in. Okay, so we're all here with God. We were with God, and so all the laws of God, which what we'll do is we'll call the laws of God. Of course, you got the natural laws, but concerning men, we'll call those morals, because morals are the kind of thing that you don't say certain things at certain times, and when somebody needs help, you help them, and um, that morals are about trying to do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. And so we all lived this way. And then, and then somebody decided that it would be better if they could step in between us and God, and through whatever fucked up way they did it and just disconnected us, the God morals no longer mattered, because this system of this system up here um, doesn't mean anything down here, because down here it's ruled by the false god of electricity. Remember? So now we're no longer in this particular relevancy to God. We're cut off. They did it. The boom, they fucking separated us. So we'll just use this triangle. I'll put this triangle here, right here, as the separation point, as the symbol for the separation point between us and God. So man is still here now, but man is no longer running on the morals, right? So then our hook-nosed friends, the Red Sea pedestrians and the Phoenicians and all of them boys came along, and because they understand that everything works by power, but the power that they used, they destroyed everything. So they tried to create a second reality, which they did. This is the one that everybody knows. And what they've done is, and I stated this before, the best that I can, is that they applied the laws of electricity to the laws of men. And so if you look at man, because this is all man is here. There's a battery. That's it. Because all the power is being stolen. And instead of getting up to the Father, where we used to go, it's no longer going there. It goes here, there, wherever. So here's man, the battery, and he's under religious laws and civil laws, and that comes, the word civil comes from the word the Ilias, who are the lower gods. So you can imagine who they may be. Who are the guys running around that consider themselves to be gods? Who do you think that is? Who's the lady that said, well, we created you and you're going to have to get used to that? So it goes back to that group again. And so in order to make it profitable for them, they had to lock us into a system that represents the higher system, but it really isn't. And so what they did is they put us into their electrical system. So what they've done is, and I'll just give you an example. Let's say that the man who is the battery that keeps this place going, it doesn't keep it going at all, actually. It just keeps this system going. And let's say that in the world of God that we knew it, if somebody did something that was immoral, you were held accountable for it. But walking too fast or cutting across at an angle wasn't a crime because it just wasn't a crime. It wasn't a crime against God or nature. But what these assholes have done is they created laws, and in order to emulate the higher system of how they think things work, they created lower laws. And so let's say that this guy, for whatever reason, ran a stop sign. So now this guy, because that means nothing to God, it doesn't mean anything. Let's say he's going to get charged. Let me just do it this way. He's going to get charged with a crime. So now he's been charged. Now the man has been given, he's been given a value. Now he's been given a value. But because he's been charged, right? Because he's been given a charge, that charge, he can't keep that charge. He has to post bail. In other words, because he's taken on a charge, an electrical charge, because you got to remember, this down here, let me just do this for you so you understand. This down here, the world we live in, is the cube. So I'm just drawing lines so that you get that we're in this cube, okay? So within this cube, this big battery, we're a smaller battery. And because some of the energy from what they call their false god, let's do this. Rotate it. Flip horizontally, flip vertically, flip horizontally. Some of this power has been taken, because this is all hypothetical. Let me just get this here. Has hypothetically been stolen or taken from the cube. It has to be replaced. You've been charged. You've been given a charge. And because you've been given a charge, you have to give it back. And in order to do that, you have to post a balance. And a post would be this. Let's see. A post would be this, right? So it's either going to be a red or a blue one, right? So we'll just go with those colors. But for right now, we'll just go with black. So you have to post a balance because you have to discharge your debt. Do you understand? You have to take the charge that you were given, and you have to put it back into the system. But instead of it being in an electrical system, they created a money system, which they both call currency. And I know I spelled that wrong probably, but you get the gist of it. Okay? So you have to post a balance or bail, right? And you have to put the voltage back into the system, but you're taking it from one system and putting it into another. So you're taking it from the higher system of this fake system in one form, which is electricity, and putting it into the lower, which we call money, into currency because you were charged. So in the essence of this, if you can understand this, if somebody gives you $100, they gave you $100 bill. All right? But what they gave you, you're thinking to yourself that that's in the positive. Like you gained $100. But in reality, the $100 equals a debt because somebody gave you $100 debt. They gave you $100 bill. It's as if I did a service for you and I said, "Hey, I did some tree work for you. You owe me a couple hundred dollars or $100." Okay? Then you give me $100 or $200, whatever it is. And the way that most people view it is, oh, I'm gainful, right? I'm gainful, but you're really not, because all the guy did is he handed you, or he put you in debt by giving you $100 bill. It's the complete opposite. This is why you see these people. They have a gist of it, kind of, in some religious aspects, where they claim a life of poverty. Because they believe the less they have here, the more they have up there. And then there's the other group that says, fuck it, I can care less. I'm going to get as much as I can here, which flips it so they have very little up there. So when you talk about the lottery, and you talk about, oh, the lottery, it's $9 billion. Well, it's called the Powerball. The Powerball. So when you take on a lot of money like that, you're really taking on debt. Although it appears that you're getting out of debt, you're really getting in debt because of the way that they created this system. And so you're always trying to play catch up with this. You're always being held in debt. You know, when you open an account with a credit card, it's called what? A charge account. Oh, how do you want to pay for this? Cash, check, or do you want to charge it? Well, I want to charge it. Well, now you've used some of you're using the linguistics of the guy that runs this place, or a woman, and you're going to charge it. So you're going to borrow some power from the creator here, metaphorically, but then you have to put it back. Okay, that's all fine and good. But when we want to create, basically, if we want to thieve, or we want to create more currency, we create more and more bullshit laws so that people can be charged. In other words, we're making money out of nothing by charging people out of laws that don't have anything to do with the real creator. They have everything to do with the prison here. And we all know, unless you post bail, you can't get out of jail. And so they made it to where you're always in debt because you're always dealing with currency. And you will forever always be out of balance. You will never be able to post balance. You will never get it correct. See, that's kind of what the whole Jesus thing was about, was him saying, fine, fuck it, I'll eat it, leave these guys alone. On a spiritual level, that's what it is. On this level, they keep creating this more and more bullshit to charge us, doing the same exact things they were doing before. So when you look at yourself as being stuck in a lower reality, cut off from God, based on electricity, which is the end all be all for these fuckers, because whatever it is, they're so in love with it. It makes their dick hard when they just think of the power. And so they make us slave under a fictitious system. That's why it's fake. Because the true laws of the Father are moralistic laws. Okay? And I'm not real big on the 10 Commandments because even those are, you know, they're okay. If you follow them, you probably won't get in much trouble. I mean, don't fuck around with your neighbor's wife. Don't steal from this guy. Those are moralistic laws. I don't like the people that claim that God gave them to them. That's what I'm saying. To me, those were like the beginning laws of you owe me something. Because they were based on, hey, you stole from me, you're going to give me that plus 3 times the amount. The interesting word is three times. And we all know who 3 is. So you get where I'm going? The real laws of God are moralistic, and they're on a level that most people don't grasp. These laws are based on being charged and posting bail. And what can I get from you if you wrong me? That's what this place is. So I know this is probably fucking confusing the way that I explained it, but it's hard to take what I understand and transfer it into words to where you can get it. We're cut off from we're cut off from creation. We're cut off from the Father. We live in a land of the dead because this fucking place is the zombie apocalypse. Everybody's walking around dead, stupid, retarded. They don't have a clue that any of this even exists. They're happy to go in debt by becoming gainfully in debt. Let's just call it that. Gainfully in debt. I want to get a better paying job so I can get deeper into debt. You see how it mirrors itself? People think they're digging themselves out of a hole when they're actually digging a deeper hole. And that's a hard life to run. That's a real hard life to run, always trying to say, man, fuck, if I take on more money, I'm taking on more debt. I mean, it should be obvious to you, the more money you got, the more they take. So having more money isn't necessarily a good thing. But, you know, hopefully I've explained this to where you can at least grasp what I'm saying. They got us locked up tight, real tight. But when you understand it on a certain level, it just becomes a big fucking clown shoe. It's a goof. They took a system that didn't even exist, emulated it after something else that just runs through nature, and said, hey, you're going to follow the same laws. And then they write laws that don't have anything to do with anything. I didn't electrically violate anybody, but that's their form of currency. So then they create something that represents currency. It's like a little kid's toy. I use real chainsaws in the trees. Fisher Price makes a little chainsaw for little guys so they can pretend they're in the tree. It's the same thing. Except this shit keeps you in slavery. Again, like I said, it's all about power. And bullshit power.